What's up, guys? So I recently got a message on Instagram that said this pretty much: how is Amazon FBA going? And do you think I can start now or wait for Corona situation to get better? And how much money did you have when you started doing Amazon FBA and when? So I'm gonna answer that first question in this video of, is it too late to start Amazon now or should we wait for things to get better? Is it still an opportunity or not? And I wanna talk about 5 different problems that people are facing these days because of this new situation. And I wanna talk about solutions that I've had to come up with or other people have had to come up with to overcome these problems. And at the end of this video, if you stick around, I'll show you the answer that I sent to this person that asked this question. So make sure to watch this video all the way through to see that big text of answer that I sent to them. And then in the next video, I'll be answering that second question of how much money did I have when I started Amazon. So if you want to see the answer to that, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified when I post that next video. But for now, let's talk about these 5 things right here that people are complaining about, and they're actual problems. They're real problems. They're not complaining for no reason. So number 1 says FBA versus FBM. Basically, the way Amazon works, the way selling on Amazon works is you get your products and then you send them to Amazon's warehouses. That's what FBA means, fulfilled by Amazon. And then once Amazon has your products, they can fulfill each item that someone buys to the customer because they have them in their warehouse. That's how Prime works. When you buy something on Amazon, it says Prime because they have it in their warehouse and they can send it within a day or 2. So what happened recently is Amazon said, hey, you can't send us any more products to our warehouse. We have too much to do with all this situation happening. We have too many masks to deliver or too many more important things to deliver. So let's pause all shipments in. That means if I'm a seller and I have new products to launch, I can't send them to Amazon because they're closed. So that's what happened at first. Now, luckily for me, I had a shipping plan open before. The way it works is you create a shipping plan on Amazon telling them, hey, expect to receive these. Give me a label so that you know what's coming to your warehouse. So I had a shipping plan open because I had a shipment coming in soon, and I was still able to use that. So I sent in 2,000 units recently, and luckily I had that open. But if you didn't have that open, you can't send in new products. That's an issue. And then later what they did was they opened it very briefly for some product, I think according to the history of the sales of these products. So if they see that it's selling well, they opened the opportunity for you to send in product. What I did then was the same thing. I created a shipping plan that was like 3,000 units, even though I have no products coming in. I just created it just in case that same thing happens again and I need a shipping plan. So again, what they did later, which is the most recent thing, was they limited the amount of products that you can send in to Amazon. So now they allowed new products to send in inventory, but they limited them to a certain amount. If it's a product that's been selling, I think they calculated based on how much you're selling currently, and they say, okay, you're allowed to send in 1,000 units. That's very limiting, but at least it's something. But then if it's a new product that obviously doesn't have sales history, well, what they're doing is they're letting you only send in 50 units. Again, that's a problem because then you're not doing FBA anymore if you can't send in products to Amazon. So the alternative would be to either get lucky like I did and create a bunch of shipping plans, or you have to do something called FBM, which means fulfilled by merchant. I'm the merchant and I'm fulfilling each order to the customer. Now that's a huge headache because I'm not going to be sitting here. I have 10 orders today already, and then usually I'm doing 20 orders a day on average. I'm not gonna sit here and create labels and then put them on the box and then send them by shipping. I don't even live in the US. I live in Canada and I sell in the US. So if you can't do that yourself, that's an option. But if you cannot, there's something called 3PLs. Look it up. But basically that's fulfillment centers, just like Amazon, except they're their own entities, their own companies. And what they can do is the same thing that Amazon does. They might charge a bit more, check their fees. But if you want some, I haven't used them yet, but I will be using them for my next product that I'm launching. So if you want to see how that goes, again, subscribe to this channel and I'll let you know how it goes when that happens. But I did an interview with a friend of mine in my Facebook group where he talked about 3 different centers that he recommends.
Yeah, there's a bunch. We use Ship Fusion. David Zaleski, he put a pretty good one. His name is Ship Bob. There's also another one that Casey Goss recommended. It's called Deliver with 2 R's.
If you want to see that video, it's in the Facebook group. I'll link it in the description below. Now, number 2 is FBA Ship Time. So if you're a customer buying on Amazon, you might have noticed that recently when you could buy something and have it at your house in 2 days or even in 1 day or even the same day, what happened recently is that it changed and Probably some products you might have seen them say that they're going to ship to your house within a month, and those are still Prime products, so that's still Amazon shipping them to you. So that's a huge problem, and that's scaring away a lot of sellers because no one wants to wait a month to get their products, to get something that they bought. And honestly, I'm not going to buy something that's going to come in 2 or 4 weeks. So that's a huge issue. And here's an example of someone who's in my Facebook group. He looked up his product on April 17, and then it said that 1-day shipping is going to come on May 9th. So while that is the problem, I found a solution. Usually with Amazon, you're allowed to tell Amazon to send one product to an address. It's called a fulfillment order. So you can create a fulfillment order manually, give the address and the name, and then Amazon will send it to that person or to that address. And that's how we usually do it when we link other websites to Amazon. So say I have a Shopify store, a website of my own, and I get orders on it. I can let Amazon fulfill these orders by just giving them the name and the address of the customer, and then Amazon sends it to them. So that's called a fulfillment order. So that same person that posted the earlier photo, he looked at his fulfillment order time, and then it said this image right here. So obviously, as you can see, it's a lot quicker to create a fulfillment order than it is to buy from Amazon. So the alternative would be to create a website like a Shopify store, which is very simple to do. I made a video showing you how to link Amazon to Shopify. I can link it at the end of this video, but it's pretty simple to do. And then when people buy from your store, you can just fulfill them from Amazon, which obviously, as you can see, it's taking a lot less time than if you had bought it from Amazon, which is weird, but it's working. That is a solution. And that is actually something that's very good and very beneficial for you, because customers, they're not going to wait a month to buy from Amazon. It's so much easier to have them buy from your website now. Just because you're offering faster shipping, they're going to be not too hesitant to buy from you. When in the past or at any other time, they don't know your website, they don't trust you, they trust Amazon so much more, so it's harder to get people to buy from your website. So now is a great time to get people used to buying from your website, which is a huge advantage. It's more profitable, and then you have all the information of these customers, which you don't if you sell on Amazon. So the silver lining is that you're converting much easier on Shopify, on your own stores. So it's a very good opportunity right now to move to Shopify. The other reason that it's a great opportunity to start Shopify right now is because Shopify is a smart company. So what they did is, usually they give you a 14-day free trial, but now they're giving 90-day free trial, which is genius of them. But you have to take advantage of this and give it a shot. If you want to start on Shopify, I'll put a link to the 90-day free trial in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so if you guys do use it, I get a kickback, and that's your way of supporting this channel, so thank you if you do. Number 3 is demand is dead for some products, and it's tricky to do product research. So yes, if you're selling a product that has no more demand, that people don't need anymore because they're stuck at home, that sucks. That's a real problem. However, there's a lot of products, as you can see in this image, that have way increased in demand. Usually the way that you sell anything ever is you fulfill a need. There's a problem, you solve the problem with your product or your service. So now, as you can imagine, there's so many problems in the world. So I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities to solve these problems with products. Now, a problem can be just boredom. So you can probably solve a lot of boredom with some products. And it's tricky to do product research now because the software that we usually use and all the data that we look at is usually over a period of time, and now everything is so different that you can't really rely on the data. So you have to make a bit more of a smart, educated guess or a smart, educated decision when it comes to looking for a product. Use your brain, and then think of what products people would really need. You can also look at historical data if you want to see how it's going to be in the future according to how it was in the past. But really, it's a combination of looking at these photos right here and looking at what's happening in the world and finding solutions to problems. An opportunity is an opportunity. If you can find an opportunity, that means yes, you can still sell a product. Number 4 is China shipping costs. So because of everything that's happening in the world, because of how weird everything is, there's a lot less planes in the air flying from China to the US or to wherever. And then because China was closed for a while, now that they're back and they're working, there's a lot of orders of sellers wanting to send products from China to the US. So there's more orders than usual, there's less planes than usual. That results in, you guessed it, a very big increase in prices of air shipments. So when in the past you might have spent $3, $4 per kilogram on shipments from air. Now it's costing us $6, and then recently it was $10, and then I've heard some people pay $15 per kilogram of products shipped by air, which is insane. So that's also a problem. It's also something that people are taking into consideration when thinking, hey, maybe this is not a good idea to start selling now. But again, it's one of those things where there's always a solution. You have to think of how bad do you want the products and how quick do you want the products at Amazon. The alternative obviously is ocean shipping, which is still pretty cheap. It increased a tiny bit, but it's still very, very cheap. And ocean shipping takes usually 25 to 30 days. But if you want the products quicker at Amazon, you might consider paying that much more to get the product, especially if it's a product that's in very, very high demand now. Think about it. If it's in very high demand now, that means that maybe later it won't be. That means maybe there's a small window of opportunity that you might miss. So if you don't sell these products now, you're missing out on a big paycheck. So maybe spending that extra money on air shipments, which is what I've done. I sent one air shipment recently. It got to the US pretty quickly, and it was so much worth it because now I'm selling, as you saw from my screenshot. The other solution would be to raise your prices, adjust to the market. If it's that much more expensive to send a product to Amazon, then make that product that much more expensive to buy. So again, that's one of those things where you have to decide for yourself, make a good, educated business decision to think, do I really need it now? How fast do I need it? How much can I afford to spend? And can I even raise the price and make life much easier? And then the last thing is selling too much. So that's the last problem, because not everyone has this problem, but it is a very common problem. Now that demand is dead for some products, on the flip side, there are products that are in so much more demand than usual, which means that you did not account for this demand, obviously. So you don't have enough products to sell, which means that you might run out of stock very soon. The problem with that is as soon as you run out of stock, you start losing your rank on Amazon. And if you know anything about selling on Amazon, maintaining your rank on the first page of the keyword is so important, because otherwise, how are people going to find you? And if you're out of stock, you're not selling, someone else is selling more than you, and they're going to outrank you because Amazon sees that they should reward them because they're selling. So that is an issue right now. And what I've done to overcome this, and it was a video that I did in the past, I can link it in the description below if you want to check it out. But I, first of all, raised my prices very slowly. You have to be very careful when raising your prices on Amazon, because sometimes they may punish you for raising it too quickly or too much. So I raised my prices $1 to $2 at a time carefully, and I monitored how things went. You also don't want to slow down your sales too much, or again, you'll lose ranking because someone else is outperforming you and outselling you. So slowly raised my prices, and I also turned off my advertisements at one point. It was a scary decision because if I turned off my ads, maybe I won't get any sales anymore. But luckily I got actually half the amount of sales that I was getting, but I was profiting as much, if not more than before, because I stopped spending money on ads. So raised prices and turned off ads. This way I slowed down how fast I was gonna run out of stock. I also profited more as a byproduct, so that's good. And then because I slowed down sales, I was able to get some products back in stock, not too late after I ran out of stock. So I did run out of stock, but it wasn't too late until I got some new products in. So again, that's a problem, and that's a solution for you, or an option of a solution. So as promised, that person that asked me this question on Instagram, I sent them a big answer, and let me show you what I told them. I said there are a lot of hurdles to overcome now, maybe more than usual, but there are always hurdles to overcome. And that's very true in life and in business, especially in business. If you wanted to start before, you could. If you wanted to start now, you can. If you wanted to start after, you probably can. You just have to find a product that's in demand, fulfill a need, solve a problem. And guess what? There's a shit ton of problems these days. I can't spell and I can't type, I'm sorry. And you can probably imagine why there are a lot of problems. So if you find an opportunity where you can help people with a product that they are in need of or could use, then yes, of course you can start now. And on the other hand, it's even better to start now because sellers have so many problems now, all of these. Which means that the barrier to entry is higher, which means if you get just a little more creative or find better solutions than others, then you're already beating the competition. You just need to get started and take steps forward, otherwise you'll keep asking if it's the right time forever. And that's very true, because the people who have asked me if it's the right time now have also asked me if it's the right time 2 years ago. The same people, I swear to God. And then I said, and I'm making a video to answer the how much money I started with question. Keep an eye out for that on my channel soon. So if you want to see that next video where I share how much I started with, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell to get notified when I post. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up. It really helps me out and helps me know if you guys like these types of videos. And click right here to see the video where I shared how to link Shopify to your Amazon store. So if you want to see that, click right here, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. So once you've connected to Amazon, you will see Amazon Marketplace Web, and that's how you're gonna properly connect Shopify to be fulfilled by Amazon. Next, we can set up our online store. It's pretty simple. You just have to